What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. I am the Crypto Crow. Today we're going to be talking about Cardano. I mean, of course, and Ethereum for that matter, because I've actually been doing a little digging on Ethereum staking. And I'm not going to lie, it's kind of interesting, but there's some things associated with it that make me pause. But 2023 is the year of Cardano, in my opinion, and many others, because I believe personally that the 2023 is going to be the culmination of a lot of years of development, and then boom, man, we hit the halving and away we go. And I figure we'll take a little look at some of this stuff to kind of let you know what I'm seeing, and get your comments down below. I want to see what you guys are thinking. I really am. I am going to start doing some deeper dives into projects on the Cardano blockchain, in the Cardano ecosystem. There are many, and the number is growing, and I know it's time for me to catch up. So I will. I'm telling you right now, just because something is being built on Cardano doesn't mean I'm going to be bullish on it. It doesn't mean that I think it's going to go to the moon. It doesn't mean I think it's going to be safe. So just be forewarned that, you might be saying, oh, Crow, what about this project? I love it. I own it, and I might hate it. But you know what? That's okay. I don't have to like everything you like. If you're putting in the time and you've been researching it thoroughly, and, you have a different impression of a project than I do, it doesn't mean you're wrong at all. It means I might be. We'll find out. But that's also why you never invest more than you can afford to lose. You always continue to research. And that's it. So don't feel bad if I don't happen to like your project. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. There have been a lot of projects that I have really, really loved that have not performed well. There have been a lot of projects I just didn't care about that went to the moon. So to each their own. Okay. But anyway, and that's generally layer two, layer two, dApps, apps, things like that, that tend to go a little wonky. Layer one blockchains typically seems to be where the meat and potatoes are. You may not get 1,000x return on your initial investment, depending on when you got into that. But if you're also playing the cycles and you're getting in and out based off of the cycles and where things are, man, you could be averaging down your initial entry position. So even if the price goes up and the new bottom is much higher than the last time you got in, well, if you got out towards the top of the last cycle and you get back in, man, you get it. You're averaging down still, because you're investing money that's all profit anyway. So it's almost like you're investing for free to some extent. So keep that in mind. But anyway, a Cardano SPO has shared the latest Cardano statistics as 2023 begins. He also provides a similar tweet, which he shared at the start of 2022. And no doubt the growth was evident. And yes, it is. It's a very nice thing. Cardano's start of 2023. Number of accounts, 3.8 million. Oops, I didn't want to click it. Staked addresses, 1.27 million. Man, 1.2 million addresses. Number of pools has shot up. Since the beginning of the year, 3,186 staking pools, including my own, the Crow node. That's CROW, for those of you so inclined. Staked 25.14 billion, or 73.51% of the total circulating supply of ADA is being staked to nodes. Number of Reddit users is 696,288. I think that's up about 130,000 or so. TVL is at 51 million. And that it's looking really good. According to the details given, Cardano accounts presently number 3.8 million, out of which 1.27 million are staked addresses. Why aren't the rest of you staking your ADA? There's no risk. It's not locked up. It's very safe. Why aren't you staking it? Even if you're not staking it to Crow node, you should be staking it somewhere. It helps support the network overall. It helps the decentralization of the network. It helps a whole lot of things. And if you're a Cardano believer and you're holding it, you should be staking it. That's my personal opinion. It's not financial advice. It's just, I don't know, common sense, I think, to some degree. I'm not sure. You got to be careful what you say. I don't know. Is that giving financial advice? It's definitely not what I'm trying to do. But let's just say I have ADA and I am absolutely staking it. I want the passive yields, especially throughout the bear market as Cardano's price continues to fall with the rest of the market. I'm at least generating more ADA passively, that when the thing does turn around and then the new or the new bull market starts back up, I'm getting a yield on all that free ADA I got. I mean, think about it. If Cardano's at 25 cents and you're generating however many a week for free, if it were to get to $10, what does that mean over a course of a 3-year bear market, or even 2 years? Let's say we don't peak for 2 years and you're making a 5% annual return on whatever you're delegating or you're staking to a node. I mean, that, and it's compounding. So as you're generating new rewards, it's going right into your wallet. That's added to the next epoch stake, right? So it's like a compounding interest type situation that grows quickly. Believe me, I've been looking at the numbers and I'm like, wow, okay, that's really good. So to each their own. I mean, we went through the bulk of the numbers. Now, the one thing is that this basically said that Cardano is the second largest staking blockchain out there. And I'm thinking, second? What is the first? And I'm like, oh, that's right, Ethereum. Ethereum is still number one now with proof of stake. And I started thinking to myself, wow, how is that even a thing? And I wasn't aware of some things. And I'm going to be real honest. I was kind of impressed with these numbers. I'm not going to lie. And again, listen, I call it as I see it, folks. And if I'm presented with new information that I wasn't initially privy to, I'm going to say it. That's all there is to it. Doesn't mean I hate anything. Just because I think Cardano is going to be the best and biggest as we get closer to the next bull cycle, it doesn't mean it's not going to have competition. But anyway, I figured I was going to look at some of this stuff and share it with you a little bit because the details are pretty staggering. There are over 15.8 million Ethereum currently staked right now, roughly 5% APR. That's pretty good. All right. I mean, I'm just being honest. It's pretty good. How is it the second or the first largest? There are almost 500,000 validator nodes out there. I had no idea. I legitimately had no idea there were this many nodes. Now, here's the thing. If you've got 32 Ethereum, you can activate the validator software. So good for you. I mean, what is that? I don't know, 40 grand or something like that. So if you've got 32 Ethereum, you'll lock it up and you can launch a validator node. That's pretty solid. And apparently almost 500,000 people are doing that. You earn rewards. There are a lot of benefits associated with it, but there are some risks. You can do solo home staking, which means ultimately you try to set up a node. It has to be connected 24/7 to the internet. And you can be penalized at the cost of Ethereum if it goes out. Okay, like if your internet goes out or your power goes out or something like that. So something tells me we're not going to see many of these nodes in California, Florida, some of these states that have issues with keeping the power on. Because I feel like anytime it drizzles, the power goes out for some reason in Florida. So does the internet, by dang. It's pretty nuts. You can do staking as a service, or you can do pooled staking. So there are different outlets associated with this, okay, with staking Ethereum, and it's pretty cool. The rewards are decent. Maximum rewards receive full rewards directly from the protocol. You'll get rewards for batching transactions into a new block or checking the work of other validators to keep the chain running securely. That's cool. You'll also receive unburnt transaction fees for blocks you propose. That's all cool. And there are other associated with rewards depending on whether you're doing solo, staking as a service, or pooled staking. But it's all kind of risky. And on top of that, apparently it's much easier to set up an Ethereum validator from what I'm gathering. But through that ease also comes risk. And the thing of it is when I'm comparing, 500,000 Ethereum validators that basically anybody can set up if they've got 32 Ethereum, that's cool. But Compare that to 31,000 nodes for Cardano. Listen, I'm telling you right now, I have a full stack developer who hand codes like everything we do. And he found it very difficult to set up the Cardano node, the Crow node. And, you know, keeping it updated and all of that stuff, it's challenging. So it's not something that just anybody with a few ADA can pledge, click a few buttons, like the Divi token and their Divi masternode. You don't get to just basically open a wallet, click run masternode, and that's it. It's not like a one button start kind of thing. That barrier to entry does make it much more difficult for the number of nodes to grow. Okay, I'm going to be very upfront about that. I know that if I didn't have my developer managing it all for me, I would probably not be able to figure it out on my own. I feel like you almost need a degree to basically set up a Cardano node, which sucks. However, there are also a lot of people out there willing to help, and you pay them a cut and so forth and so on, but then you're having to trust somebody else, and it becomes this whole kind of evolving issue. Luckily, I trust my developer. I've been working with him for years, and he's the one building my SO blocks, and you know what I mean? He's a quality guy, but that is the issue with Cardano. Things are generally a little more difficult to do on Cardano. However, they are also much less risky, much more feature rich in terms of, the capabilities. I can set up a node, I can pledge my ADA, and I can pull it out anytime I want. I can delegate my ADA to a node and pull it out anytime I want with no penalties, right? But you can't do that kind of stuff on Ethereum. And there are risks. So your Ethereum is at stake. They just tell you straight up, if you're trying to run a validator node, your Ethereum is at stake. There are penalties which cost Ethereum for going offline. You can't even control that all the time. And now maybe you say, well, I can just set this up on a VPN or something somewhere. Well, those aren't always guaranteed 100% 24/7 either. Malicious behavior can result in slashing of larger amounts of Ethereum and forced ejection from the network. What? And that's just on the self-serve side. That's the solo staking side. So, it's kind of a risk versus reward scenario. But the numbers look pretty good, and I'm probably going to look into this myself because why not? And I might talk to my developer about this and see, listen, like let's dig into this. How risky is it? If you run a validator node, let me know in the comments below. What's your experience like? How easy is it to set up? How difficult is it to maintain? What kind of yield are you realistically seeing? How do you feel about it? And I'm serious. I want to know. Always keep in mind, you got the WhatsApp bots that are in my comments all the time. And you got all the, I made so much Bitcoin following this dumbass trader. I try to get rid of it as much as I can, but every video they create new accounts. And so I'm having to do it every video, but just know that's all garbage. I'm not in the comments telling you to join me on WhatsApp. No offense, but I don't want to talk to you. Okay. I just don't. I don't have the time to talk to 5,000 people on WhatsApp. Okay. So those are people trying to farm your cell phone number so they can send you spammy links and all kinds of garbage. But anyway, I mean, those are the numbers right now for Cardano, and it's looking very bright. And all these people that are out there, I did the Altcoin Daily interview, which I love those guys. I'm so grateful for that. They helped my subscriber count go up almost 2,000 already. Granted, the video is seen by like almost 100,000 people. I only got 2,000 subs, which means I didn't connect with 88,000 people, unfortunately. But maybe I'll start popping up and they'll subscribe sooner than later, and we can grow this family out. Because honestly, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. I want to be able to keep people abreast of what's happening. I call it how I see it. I'm always right sometimes. I love each and every one of you, and I really want to see everybody do very, very well. And I want to keep people well informed. And so because of that, I'm going to start making it a bigger part of my mission to start going over some of these Cardano ecosystem projects outside of just my favorites like Corn Cornucopias and World Mobile Token. And I know there are many other gems out there that I haven't even touched on, and I definitely plan to do it. So stick with me. And if you're new here, please subscribe, like the video, drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on what I discussed here today. It always means a lot. I do go through them. And quite honestly, your comments help entertain me. And I typically like and heart them once I've read them, basically while I'm trying to clean out the spam. So, you know, you're basically giving me something fun to do while I'm doing something a little more tedious, and I greatly appreciate it. So until next time, guys, enjoy your Tuesday, crow your coins, and I'll see you again very soon.